So, hello. We get some questions pretty frequently about seller defects and things that people didn't disclose when they purchased or when they sold a property. Usually, this happens where there's a, particular error um, on the seller disclosure form, or something was left out. For example, the call that I just received was with a basement issue, where there was some flooding after the rain, and the person that bought the property said this issue was pretty obvious to them, and would have certainly been obvious to the prior owners. And the prior owners did not disclose it on the seller disclosure form in Ohio, nor did they mention it otherwise, disclose it otherwise. And the question is what can they do? Ohio does not provide for specific cause of action for filling out that form incorrectly or lying on the form. But what lying on that form can do is it can form the basis of a fraud action against the seller. So it's a common law fraud action. Um, that requires proving several different elements, and that form can help prove one of the elements. But in and of itself, lying on it doesn't immediately or necessarily trigger the violation. So when people call us up and say, "Well, what can I do about it? What are my remedies?" Your remedy is to sue for a fraud action and allege that they knew about that particular defect and failed to disclose it, and by virtue of that, they're liable to you or for damages. Um, how much are those damages? Then is the next question. Assuming that they failed to disclose something, assuming it was obvious, assuming you can prove all that, then you have to step in and determine what are your damages. So one of the first questions that I ask people is, what's it going to cost to repair? What's the cost to remedy the failure? And that's going to take you contacting some experts out there in the field. Maybe it's a general contractor or somebody who does repair work, and get them in and give you a quote to say what it's going to cost. If the cost to remedy the particular area is $10,000 or less, it's probably most efficient for you to file a small claims court lawsuit to recover up to $6,000. Right now, it's the limit of 6,000 in Ohio, so you can sue the seller and request all six. To hire a counsel to be involved with that's pretty expensive relative to the cost of what can be small cost of repair. So over the course of a year of litigation, you might be spending $20,000 to $30,000 on counsel. Even if we bill you $1,500 a month on a flat fee, over 10 months, that's $15,000. So usually, when it makes sense to retain counsel or bring somebody in, is when the damages make that worth your while. That might be that the cost of repair is 60, 70,000, or $100,000 or more. Then maybe it's worthwhile to spend a few $1,000s over a few months to see if you can get some kind of deal done where they're able to cover some or all of the cost of the repairs. But these are not open and shut kind of matters. Proving fraud enables you to recover your actual damages. It can also allow you to recover additional damages, but punitive damages in Ohio are limited to three times the amount of your actuals. So if your damages are 10,000, then maybe you're looking at up to 30,000 extra in punitives. And but that is a higher threshold of proof, and you can also recover attorney's fees, but that is also a higher level proof, clear and convincing evidence, and in order to get to that level. So usually it's a situation where when I'm talking to somebody, is it worth it to move forward? Usually doesn't have to do with whether or not they lied to you or whether or not you've got problems, but rather what's the economic cost or benefit for you to remedy it. If it's something where it makes sense and you'd like to go after them for whatever reason, whether it's because you need to remedy it or you want to make sure that this doesn't happen to other people, feel free to give us a call. I'm happy to talk with you, see if it's right fit for us. But we do this kind of litigation on a regular basis. My number is 614-221-9800 to reach out to our firm. Website is lonelawyer.law. Thanks so much. Good luck.